Hi, everybody. So this is installment number 2, and Dana, Steph, and Rex are here with me, and we're going to be talking about manifesting, but this is basically like, why are we not on Earth anymore? What happened? Okay, so we're talking about that. If you don't understand what's going on in this video, please go watch the previous video. Okay, thank you.
Very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dana. Dana's doing questions. She's in charge of questions.
I'm a questioner. Actually, this video, I think, is going to be a little bit more conversational than the last one. And I think it would be a good idea to bring up the subject matter of fractals, braidings, walk-ins, and walk-outs. And what is the meaning of all that in this time and space where we are now?
So we have lots of different ways that souls are interacting right now. And I'm going to bring up that picture again so this is where we're at, but we're going to talk about who we are again. So we are fractals of source. So we're little tiny pieces of source. And we're interacting in a lot of different ways right now because of Ascension. So normally you'd probably just have one soul in a body, and that soul stays in that body throughout the whole lifetime and learns all the lessons that the soul wanted to learn throughout that entire lifetime. But right now we're in the middle of Ascension. So what's happening is we're getting more and more aspects of our higher self, which is also, you know, we have been only able to contain at the beginning of this about 10% of our higher self. But now we're going to get to the point where we contain all of our higher self. And once we get to that point, we also contain all the gifts that our higher self has. And the being that we'll be talking to after that is our oversoul. And an oversoul is basically one of these big souls that is a piece of source. Okay, so we think about the multiverse, the parallel universes, the timelines. We're spread out all over the place as souls. So that's a whole nother concept in itself. But if you think about it, we're having, sometimes the soul is like, okay, I finished my job in Ascension, I'm leaving, and then someone else will come in to the body. Or we'll have somebody that's like, okay, this is a lot of work, I think I need a little help. And another soul will come in and they will spiral together and become a braided soul. Or you're just going to be getting more and more and more aspects of your higher being. So there's all these things that are going on right now, and that's part of it. That's how the souls are interacting right now.
This is not a possession.
That is
like
not
our religious orientations would say. Okay, it's not that. So no need to worry there that your head's going to spin. It's not the case.
Yeah. Well,
you may not
and the
notice
demons.
anything.
Go ahead.
You may not notice any difference. Is that correct?
You will notice that your personality maybe becomes a little different, or you feel more calm, or you feel more balanced. Like, say there's a male soul and a female soul, and they come in and they, get together in the same body. But one thing is, the demons and the entities did not come with us to this realm.
Yep.
So you need to remember that when you're feeling funky, they're not here.
It's more like when that happens, it's things that you maybe weren't interested in so much before, now all of a sudden are an interest to you.
Yep.
Or things that you used to love to do now are not an interest, and not in a bad way, but you just find yourself looking back going, wait a minute, I don't play golf anymore. Why don't I play golf? Well, just go with that, and so what? But stay where you enjoy it, where you enjoy the things that it's evolving. And that's what
Yeah.
that walk-ins and things of the sort, your knowledge and your interest into things, like the fact that you're interested in Ascension, should tell you all right there.
Yeah.
Because there's millions out there that have no clue, and that's how far away they are from it. So that's what we're all here to do anyway. But go ahead.
Yeah.
And as
So
a person actually who has a brain, I can say it's not a scary thing. So don't be afraid of the change. To me, it's brought great balance. Absolutely. Completely different diet, though. And I'm strangely drawn to woodworking. And the fairy in me is quite horrified because trees are my friends. But I have to say, today I was sanding my cutting board, and it was the most satisfying moment in a long, long time. And I started to watch these YouTube videos of different, woodworks and angles you can maneuver on a block of wood. And I'm feeling really contradicted about it. But there's something poetic when this joint comes beautifully together, like the tears of beluga whale just gliding together. When you do those corner joints in a
Okay,
wood.
I mean, okay, Dana, we're gonna have a separate show because I love to do all of that crown molding, and I'm just love it and do it all over everywhere. And so we're gonna have fun with Dana and Rex on woodworking.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
My
joy
inner
about that.
strongman relishes in that.
There's a joy there that comes. But anyway, this is what I'm saying about the aspects that what you all of a sudden are interested in doing or what you do. That's not a possession. I want to get that out because I was Catholic and I know what that would entail. And from a religious end, oh no, get that out of your mind.
No, you're just getting another soul coming in. And one thing too is we're probably going to continue this conversation for a while. So we may be setting up like some ways for you guys to interact with us in a different way. So questions will get answered. So, but what's your next question, Dana?
Well, what advice would you give to people who just don't feel any draw to anything new? How can they start to find these new areas of interest? How can they find the kind of when we think about the whole aspect of seeing new places, trying new things, exploring, adventuring, where would you advise for a person to go and start to look what could be interesting to me?
Well, you can really do whatever works for you, but try and get out of your comfort zone. So whatever that is, that could be, I'm going to take a walk on a street that I don't normally go down. I'm going to go for a drive down a road I've never been down. I'm going to go on a vacation to a place I've never been. Those kind of things really need to be thought about and done because we need to start changing our perspective and letting our gifts come in as we let go of the heaviness of all the stuff we've been through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's true. So now we actually get to the subject matter of this video, which is manifesting in perspectives. And when it comes to manifesting, maybe we could talk about how important it is to be active, proactive about it, to stop being lazy. It's almost like a DIY manifesting now, because nobody is doing it for us. So feel free.
So energy flows where attention goes. That still applies. So think about what you're doing. Are you watching something that's really negative? Because a lot of the negative stuff that we have seen and been through is already taken care of. We're just now watching a movie. So do we still want to be in that movie, or do we want to move out of that movie? Where do we want to be? We want to let that movie speed itself up. Then we quit paying attention to all the little pieces of the movie. So those kind of things are important. Really, it's about us. What are we looking at? What do we care about? That's what we're manifesting because we're getting better and better at doing it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think the point is to, whatever it is that you're feeling or searching for, what do you look for that? To feel it first, and then just expect it to happen, and then let it go. Release it. Release the expectation of what you seek.
Yeah.
Lex was talking in a previous video about, oh, I hate going to work on Mondays. Why do you go to work on Mondays? So I can pay my bills. So it's the security. I love the security. It doesn't have to, come through work, but it will come through something. So start to think about the security, the capability of paying your bills, and capability of going to grocery store when you need to, and get, what you need from there. So it's kind of like, so what it is that you're looking for, I think.
Gratitude.
Yes,
Very
and when you
important.
start to see it, and when it starts to come, be grateful, and not grateful like someone at the store when they hand you the bow, thanks, thank you, whatever that's. It's a common. No, source knows the
feel it.
difference, and universe knows the difference when you really mean it and when you're just blurting it out because it's expected. Really be grateful for that, and I'm telling you, it will speed it up. And here it comes. I can attest to that. And speed it up, and it will come even faster to you because there's no times and dates. It's all event driven. So,
And if you're feeling stuck, find something you are grateful for,
yeah,
whatever it is. If it's raining outside and you're bummed about, it's raining outside, then find something else to be grateful for. I'm grateful that I have this, roof, comfortable house that protects me from the rain. I mean, you got to sometimes people, you have to dig deep and find something, but as soon as you do, things will shift.
Mhm.
they do. They really do.
Yeah. So make sure that, because you have to kind of be at a vibrational match for the good things to come in. So if you're in joy, if you can feel the gratitude, it's a much easier way to get what you want as opposed to what you're not so fond of.
Opens the universe up to be able to send you
Yeah.
things when you're grateful. When you're not, that's a blockage, or when you expect things, or when you feel deserving. That's all ego, and that's what Honey's been talking about for over a year. Is about ego. The death of the ego. It's so important to do
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
I think also to release the expectation of the thing, whatever it is you're seeking for. You can't expect it to happen immediately. So to imagine it, to feel it, to get the feeling place, and then release it, and just do something else, do something, anything, because the universe listens to you.
Yeah.
And also be mindful. I think it was important what Stephanie said in the last video, to be very mindful of what not to manifest, because the universe doesn't understand the word no. I don't like this. Say, I don't like this rain. The universe hears rain. Wonderful, I'll give you more rain. You might want to say, I like when it's sunny and dry. Okay, you get more sunny and dry. So to think about the things you actually want, because when you think about the things you don't want, that is what you strengthen. That is what you actually manifest.
Energy goes where it's pointed.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And a great thinker called Honey said, we only see when we are ready to see.
We only see
Whatever.
what we're ready to see.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true. So when
I
you're willing to shed what you have been thinking, like, when you're ready to let go of it, like
Mhm.
maybe you thought, okay, the building in front of me is green. It's only green. And then somebody comes and stands next to you and they say, no, it's red and you're colorblind. So being willing to just adjust things, it really helps. and not hanging on to everything. Attachment is something that we all need to let go of, is attachments to things. Yep.
And accept other people's perspectives. Maybe to us that building is all green, and to the person next to us is red, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Let it be red or green or pink or purple. I mean, third person could think, you know, I think the building is quite yellow. Happy color. And that's okay too. So we all, in the end, we all look through our own lenses, these things.
Right. It's just
Also,
like
if you're
all
trying
the-
to,
Go ahead, Steph.
sorry, also if you're trying to manifest something really near and dear and big for you, don't go into too much detail, because the more conditions and expectations you put on it, the longer it's going to take, the further away it's going to get. Just like this ascension process, you know, with the dates that have been put in front of us, and we hold on to that. It's actually making it go further and further away.
Yeah.
So
it puts out roots to manifest other timelines off of. Every time that's done, imagine that you put a piece of a plant in a water bottle, and it just starts to root out at all the different. And now those are all timelines that have to come together to make, yes, like that.
Yeah.
That's where political event, or when you believe something that's false flags, and you really, you know, a whole community really starts believing that. Turn the TV off, because did it really happen? Your mind won't go there if you don't. You're still going to have food today and without the TV. The TV is not the reality that you want to manifest. It's okay. That's another.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, and it's like Aubrey and Z come across happily when they deliver these messages that some may see as, well, that's not so. They don't. It's joyous to them because they know it's a beautiful. They see the beautiful part of it all. Where we still have a little hurdle to go, so we may not think it's so happy. So we're kind of like offset by that. That's not true. Look at them and go, wow, that's where it really is supposed to be, because they can see that.
Yeah, because they're working on it. They're part of it. So they can see that, and they can also enjoy it. Because they're not attached. And that's the thing, like, we're all souls that have manifested everything that's around us. We created it all. So what do you want to change inside of this, you know, manifestation that you've created? And if you let go, then you can make the change. You got to let go of the attachment. So if you have, you know, this was mentioned in another video, but if you have a car that you absolutely love, you can manifest it later, but don't expect to pull it with you into a higher density. You can always recreate that car later, but don't think you have to put it in your pocket and take it with you, because it will keep you anchored to the current reality. And none of the people that, we don't have to be attached to any of the people either. We love them, but they're also a soul in the process of doing what they're supposed to be doing. And we travel with, a lot of us travel with these people. You know, they're our posse, they're our soul tribe. We're traveling with these people. So we're going to see them again.
You will. I have to interject here with something that proves this point. Yesterday, I was in line to get an exchange. I crowds in stores. I'm kind of, but anyway, I was going through the process, and all of a sudden you hear Rex, and you turn around, and it's neighbors from 15 years ago. Not your favorite neighbors, but I was amazed the 30 minutes that they wanted to talk, and that I was okay because they weren't favorites. Okay, but I was okay with that. Afterward, I went, wow. I told my wife, I was okay with that. I guess I've let that go. I guess I really have, because I was receiving them, and oh yeah, and it wasn't fake. It wasn't like, okay, and then turn around and go, oh good. You know, it wasn't like that. It was like, wow, I think I've let that go. And that was a Hercules moment, because that's like, okay, yeah. And then that's how it teaches you. It teaches you that that's what letting go is. Not saying, oh, I've heard it all my life. Let it go. I have. I've heard that. Now you got to the point where I don't want to let anything go. I need to teach you a lesson. So, but no, let it go like that, and you'll see results. It comes to prove to you. Like that was a gift yesterday in a weird way.
Yeah. Yep. Just love and let it happen. Let everybody go on the path that they're supposed to be going on, and you'll see them on the other side. Yeah. So what's the next question, Dana?
Actually, I think we're coming to the end, but I
Oh,
would like to ask each and every one of you to give the audience some advice for manifestation. I mean, if you have some practical suggestions what to do to manifest, or just some, broadly about the whole ideology of manifestation. What would you like to say about manifestation?
I really like the 60-second thing. So you just sit with it. You want to do it for at least 60 seconds and really absorb yourself in the feeling of something. So I did this with money one time, and I wasn't really thinking it was going to happen, but I was like, ooh, wouldn't that be great if I had that much money in my savings account? That would be fabulous. And I just thought about it, and I spoke it out loud to my husband. And I said, oh, that would be really good. And I got in the feeling of it. And I did this unconsciously. Like I wasn't really paying that much attention. I wasn't trying to do it. And a month later, all that money was in my savings account. So it really is that easy. But I basically thought about it, felt it, and released it. And then it showed up.
Wow. Stephanie.
So I've mentioned a lot of the things already, but I like what Honey said about wouldn't it be great, and you have to like be open and question things in a positive way and all that. But I want to say one thing which leads back to this great awakening. Our missions right now are to manifest. So it's important for us to really get this concept and work with it and use it, practice in a small way and build yourself up. So really work on this process of manifesting what you want and finding your, most easiest way to get there, because I think it's what a part of this awakening, this great awakening that will take us to where we want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
I feel like the manifesting is when you're with yourself, doing those mundane tasks that you don't like, trimming hedges or mopping up the floor. You're with yourself, because this journey is alone. Sorry, awakening is by yourself.
Yes.
You get information and you run off with it, but you don't awaken a group and go high-fiving everybody. That's not how that happens. You've got something hits you and you're alone with it. Okay. And that's okay. But that's the best time to manifest. I've found that when I'm doing things that are just mundane tasks, get me through it, I will start to talk in those tones of, oh, I like it when this, and thank you for that. And I just have my open communication. And if you don't see instant results, because it's not instantaneous, it's when you can handle it and when it's supposed to fit in. But, when you don't, get the instant gratification of it, doesn't mean that it's not happening. You possibly have blocks also. The things that subconsciously you haven't let go of, something that your mother did to you. Okay, these are little side veins that affect that ability, where higher self is saying, no, not yet, because you wouldn't treat what you're going to get well when I give it to you, because you're still hanging on to this. So you're not going to, that energy is going to make you behave differently than you're supposed to in your higher self if you get this. So I'm going to hold off on that until you let go. And I hate to use that because that's overused, but in the sense, until you've worked that out and been able to have that weird neighbor that you see after 15 years that you didn't think you would have to, and all of a sudden you're okay. Where I thought I would go, oh God, I'd duck and run trying to get out of that. But no, I was like, how, well, it was surprising to me. Okay, so I've let that go, but it's not, it's in that way, and that's manifesting to me. And I have to say this about Oscar Wilde because he was ahead of his time, but it is, and when I often think about, he says, life is too important to be taken seriously. And that goes back to how Aubrey and Z look at it. And it is, from a higher rate, it's very important, but don't take it so seriously, because it's all going to be beautiful on the other side. I can tell you that. And I don't mean the other side is in another dimension. I see it soon. Okay. So I don't use soon, but I'm saying it's all good, but we got some lessons to learn. Okay. So that's the manifest, and you can help everybody by just keeping that frame of mind on your own. You can work.
Yeah,
That's what you're here to do. You're here to do that.
Yeah,
we are.
So
to do it with joy.
Yes,
yes.
Actually.
exactly.
Yeah.
Beautiful period on there,
Yeah.
final.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I belong to the Church of Honey when it comes to this 60-second thing, although I never gave it a timeline. But I've noticed that when I get into the feeling space, you actually start to feel limitless because you start imagining it, and that gives I don't know, but when you really get into it, it gives you the energy of joy. And I remember this was a long time ago. I was so happy because we had moved with my son to an apartment that was enormous and huge. It was massive. We had more rooms than we had furniture, and it was a wonderful, wonderful dilemma. It would be a wonderful dilemma to have now, actually, come to think of it. Just saying. And I was just dreaming one evening. I remember he was quite small. I just put him to bed. It was wonderfully quiet. I put myself a small glass of red wine, and I went to sit on a living room floor, and I had these big pillows, and I put them on the floor, and I was thinking, this would be a fantastic space for a sofa. And I was sitting there and I was watching it. Come to think of it, I could fit an armchair there and another there. But then I remembered my bank balance that was absolutely terrifying at the time. Not that it's a wonderful now, but really, it was really bad situation back then. But I was thinking, but really, I could fit a sofa and 2 armchairs, right there. There's practically, this place is created for that. And I started to think, would it be a 2-seater or would it be a 3-seater? And I was thinking, no, I'm not going to get into detail because that would hinder it. And I was thinking just, I trust that a perfect sofa and 2 armchairs, preferably, but just the sofa, I'll be happy with that, will just magically appear into this apartment, completely free of charge. And by the way, somebody else is going to have to carry it because, biceps do not live in this apartment. So I was kind of, creating this thought form. And I was like, oh, this is fun. I can already feel it. And I was thinking, okay, I'd like to have it within a month. And then I was, oh, this is ridiculous. I'm not craft of patience. It has to come within a week. That's perfectly reasonable, come to think of it, because it felt so real at the time. There was nobody that could have spoken me out of that beautiful sofa that's going to appear. And we were having a renovation back in the day, and we had these renovation men, and they had created this plastic door on the doorway. And that was weekend. And come Monday, I went to the head honcho of the repairman. I asked him, so how hard it is to take apart this plastic, it was framed and stapled on the ceiling and on the walls. I asked him, how hard is it exactly to tear down this whole shebang and then create it again? And he was like, what? Are you expecting something? I told him, yeah, I'm going to have a sofa and probably 2 armchairs as well. And he was like, when is it going to come? And I told him, I don't know. I'm actually expecting it in a week, but it, could take as long as a month, because that's the first thing I pronounced to the universe. And he was like, so is it going to have a very high, backrest, or is it one of those modern, dinky little things? And I was like, oh, I have no idea. And he was looking at me like, is it going to be a 2-seater or 3-seater sectional? Or I said, I have no idea. And he was like, do you know the kind of a sofa that's coming? I said, I have no idea, but I just know it's coming. And he was looking at me like, I was completely losing it. He was like, well, get back to me when the sofa is here. He was kind of amazed that I was wasting his time. And 2 days passed and I got a phone call. And it was a relative. And he called and asked that now that he remarried and there was this extra sofa, would I be so kind and offer a home for this sofa? Oh, and by the way, if you have extra space, I do have 2 armchairs. That's, the other one of them. I do have 2 armchairs that goes with the sofa. I understand if you don't have the space, but if you do, or if you know someone, I'd be willing to carry them into your apartment this week, actually. I was like, I'll be ever so gracious and allow you to deliver these items into my abode. And he did. He carried them
Because
into my home, exactly to the positions I created for them. And I was thinking, oh, this is great. And then actually the next week I was thinking, so I basically created a sofa and 2 armchairs. That was fantastic. I'm driving this old crumbling car that was basically at the condition that it was going to be broken any old second. And I was thinking, I'd like a new car. But then I was thinking, I know nothing about cars. But I saw this beautiful, very large. It was shining in the sunlight.
I'm gonna stop you right there, because this is where you manifest a friend with a truck. And I'm always seems to be the one with
I
that.
always wanted a friend with a
Manifested
truck
because I have the
because
truck.
that's where you can carry long amounts
Okay.
of lumber in
So
the
you-
truck. That's what I've been kind of dreaming these days. But a long story short, hello.
Hello. So we need to wrap it up. She got a new
Okay.
car, right? Did you get a new car, Dana?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. So I got one sofa, 2 armchairs, and 1 car in 1 week, all without any cost.
Fantastic.
That's
Yeah.
It
awesome.
was.
Yeah.
I got another phone
Hercules.
call, but let's wrap it up.
Okay, so Justin, we have 1 more to film. So think about, what do you want to manifest while we are here? While we're here in a universe with no interference, what do you want to manifest? That's what I want to end with. Okay, so we're going to go start part 3. Love you guys.
Love you. Bye-bye.